a second. I'm doing fuck with it too much.
Yeah.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Is the video good?
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
Check it out.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, we're going to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Machak, Double honors to the elders.
Yeah, it's all good.
He's good?
Yep.
Double honors to the elder apostles, great millstone who rule well. And salutation and much love to Akim out there pushing out his word in truth and sincerity. Brothers from Great Millstone Tampa, I'm the brother Ash.
Brother Mayum.
We're just going to go in the spirit here. As you see the title of the video, I think I put the Lord will uplift the elect. You know, so that's what's going to be done in these last days. Because what the Lord's going to show His power through His elect. You know, He's going to show. You know, because the world has forgotten about the Lord, man. The other nations don't fear Him. Our people don't fear Him. They forgot about the wrath and the mercy, but they forgot about the judgment He can bring on this earth. You know, in His power, His omnipotent power. People don't even consider that anymore. You know, but what He's going to show that, and before He sends His Son Yahweh Shai to return, He's going to start showing His power, and it's going to be through His men. Okay, because they're going to be uplifted. They're going to be. Well, let me get it just real quick. This is second Esdras. Just bear with me 1 second. So I get second Esdras 16 and verse 70.
I got something after that.
70. Verse 70, 16 and 70 says, "For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord." Right, so that's the time we're entering to, so that's why the Lord's going to have to turn up His men, just like He's turning up the left-hand side. Well, He's going to turn up the right-hand side. Exactly, right. It's a perfect balance.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
That's what? Just like they'll be able to turn up, but
up against us,
but they won't be exactly. But they won't be able to overcome us, just like the Moses and Aaron. Remember what they could turn up against them, recreate some of those miracles, but it wasn't as powerful as them. And it got to the point where they couldn't recreate it anymore. When it got to the lice, when the plague of lice came, that's when they was like, "Oh shit, we can't do this." You know, we've met our match.
Got a quick one for you. So 2 Ezra 2 and 28. The heathen shall envy thee, but they shall not be able to do nothing against thee, saith the Lord.
Yep. Well, what was that again?
2 Ezra 2 and 28.
Kind of read up a little bit, a couple verses up.
All right. Let's see.
Like 2 verses up, I think.
Says as for that, verse 26, 2 Ezra 2 and 26, as for the servants whom I have given thee.
Yeah, which those servants are the elect. But specifically starting with the prophets. Mm-hmm. Those are the servants of the Lord. When it talks about servants of the Lord, it begins with the prophets, who the Lord reveals His mysteries to. Soon to Amos, 3 and 7. You know, servants so that tells you exactly who the servants are. The servants, the prophets. Or prophets, or how's it go? The servants is prophets. Yeah, so that's who the servants begin with. Yeah, all Israel is supposed to serve the Lord, but the main ones it begins with is the 144,000, which are the servants of the Lord, which are the prophets. You know, in whatever form that may come in. You know, the ones out there on the highways and byways, the ones truly serving the Lord, man. Yep. Like what? Given that's because what the priests used to serve the Lord, and they would have to make sacrifice, right? They would have to be clean. There was a whole bunch of things that the priests had to do that necessarily everybody else didn't have to do, you know. So that's what separates the Israel, the Most High, and specifically within that, the 144,000. You know, and those are who the Lord's going to begin with to raise them up, and then you know, pursuant to John 17, those are the ones Yahweh pray for, and those are the ones that would believe on them, on Yahweh Bashim Yahweh through their word.
Yeah, the rest of the elect.
Yep.
So they're going on to say, as for the servants whom I have given thee, there shall not one of them perish, for I will require them from among thy number. Be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh.
Yeah, what day is that? The time of Jacob's trouble. The time when it's gonna be tough to even get a meal. Yep. You know, it's gonna be all kind of chaos, wars gonna be going on, people gonna be dying of hunger, a civil unrest. You know, you name it, it's gonna be going down. But it said, no, don't worry. What it say?
It says that others shall weep and be sorrowful.
No, before that it say, don't worry.
It says,
weary.
be not weary.
Not weary.
For when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance.
Yep. Like Isaiah 66 or 65 says, my servant shall eat.
Yep.
You know, people are gonna be mourning. Well, my servant shall be enjoying, or cry of joy, roughly paraphrasing. So we're gonna have abundance, and the heathen ain't gonna be able to do nothing, man. The other people are gonna be weeping and starving to death, but we're gonna be good if we trust in Yahweh Shema Shai.
Yep. The Lord's will this be the year, man.
Yeah.
You know, the year that, you know, through the Spirit, the Apostle has called, you know, the hopeful year of, you know, all the prophecies being fulfilled. This is one of the prophecies that we're hoping to be fulfilled, man.
Because that's going to show the power of the Lord. Because it said people are going to see us. They're going to look at us and see that we have abundance. In a time where, which you see, it's getting tough now. People they struggling to keep afloat, to keep a roof over their heads, to put food on the table. But somehow, some way, the people that despise this place are going to be good. We're going to have abundance. More abundant means more than what you need. You know. Matter of fact, get the etymology of abundance so we can make this crystal clear. Because see, that's our faith. We're not worried about doomsday prepping and storing up fucking cans of tuna, you know, and bottled water. that ain't nowhere in the scriptures. And it ain't gonna save you. If you want to do that, that's cool, you know. But just know that's not gonna save you.
Yep. So like, let me get this other word that came up. All right. So the etymology of the word abundance, it says copious quantity or supply.
Copious quantity.
So I looked up
More
copious.
Enough, right?
It means abundant. Copious means abundant in supply or quantity. You know, so more, like the brother said, more than enough. More than enough quantity or supply.
Yep.
So we're gonna have enough supplies. We're gonna have enough oil, really, which is what matters.
Yeah, exactly.
It's enough oil of it's knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, which is gonna get us through these days, man. Because faith is gonna be what's get you delivered, man. As we already seeing. Faith is what gotten us to this point, because you got a lot of motherfuckers dropping dead.
Yep, exactly.
And a lot more people going to be dropping
Suddenly.
dead because they had what? No faith.
Yep. And so if you didn't even have faith when shit really wasn't even bad, it was just a made up scenario.
Right.
So how much more when it is that bad? Well, guess what? Our faith is what's gonna get us through this, because our faith. You know, people say faith don't pay the bills. Well, guess what? Faith is gonna feed our mouths. How about that? Not only spiritually but physically, because our faith is because if you have faith, you serving the Lord. That guess what? That's how Daniel was fed in the lion's den. Yep. Guess what? He had faith, and that's what fed him. Oh, out of nowhere, who was it? Was it Baruch?
Yeah,
Baruch popped up out of nowhere in the midst of cooking and fed Daniel.
Shit, and Yahweh even said, you know, by bread and water alone shall not man live. You know, roughly paraphrasing, but by the hearing of the word. You know,
so,
again,
but it's gonna benefit us so that we are able to endure to the end. Because without the faith, how you gonna eat? Right, what you gonna do? How you gonna sustain yourself till the missiles come? You know,
that faith is what's gonna be that's gonna nourish us.
Right.
It's gonna give us that extra push to endure,
to believe, and hold on.
Like, fuck it, man. I don't need no food right now, man.
I know the Lord's gonna bring something. I can't go to Walmart. Well, too bad.
The Lord gonna bring something my way, man.
That's where the Lord's gonna lift up His elect, man. Yep. People are gonna witness some miraculous things in these coming days, man. Not only healings and spiritual powers, but how the Lord delivers His elect, man. People gonna be like, what the? That's not even possible. But they're gonna see it happen.
That's why Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5 says to the strangeness of their salvation.
Yep.
You know, because it's gonna be strange onto the rest of the world. Not everybody is gonna understand and recognize what the elect is gonna be, how they're gonna be taken up out of this place, man. But it's gonna be what? Something that's relevant onto how people used to see it, because they saw Yahushua go up. These were the same people that were there that crucified him, especially those that mocked him. They're gonna witness the salvation of the Lord's elect. You best believe that. The ones that were there scoffing,
they even seen miracles and still didn't believe, still hated Yahushua.
Cool.
Yeah, the nigga always comes when I'm out here. But was there more on that? Second Ezra 2? All right, let me go back to Second Ezra 15 or 16, in verse 72 says, "For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Then shall they be known
And there it goes. And then shall they be known, man. And that's the thing is, to the world, there is a certain extent of who's out here doing something according to the Bible, but people aren't really. It hasn't been affirmed who the Lord is dealing with, but in that day, it's gonna be affirmed. You best believe that. Because why? Because y'all people gonna be mourning, like the brothers read earlier. Y'all people gonna be hurt, and we gonna be good. Lord's will be a part of that number, but the rest of the world is gonna be going through it, man. They're gonna be catching hell. And those of you that serve the Lord, you're gonna be doing good. You're gonna be catching the mercies of the Lord.
Yeah, you might have to catch hell here and there, but for the most part, the Lord's gonna take care of His elect, man. He's not gonna let. Look, we've been killed all the generations. Every time we do this, we've been killed, persecuted, and killed by our own people. Right. This time is for the Lord to show His power, man. You brother just read it. None of them shall perish in 2 chapter 2. Mm-hmm. The servants, none of them shall. Well, let me keep reading. It says, then
none of them shall taste of death.
Yes, there shall be some standing here that shall not taste of death, man. So now it's time for the Lord to shine, man.
Yep. And real quick, just to make a quick point on that, just for those of you that are thinking yourself to be proud and think, well, yeah, I'm doing the Lord's work, I'm going to be delivered. Imagine the spirits of Noah and his sons and their wives on that ship when the waves were tossing and turning, man. You don't think it crossed their minds that, damn, we might be capsized. Damn, we might get we might get destroyed here. Because fucking
Russian
waters and waves hitting all over the place.
They can't see.
Yeah, shit.
You know what I'm saying?
They was because and that's how it's gonna be when the elect gets on them chariots. We still gonna be afraid. The scriptures talk about the elect was frightened, man. We gonna still be on them chariots because why the waves we gonna be feeling that turbulence, so to say, from the outside, man. And even through the spirit in these last days, we're gonna be feeling the turbulence of the times out here, man. People are going to be catching all types of hell. There's going to be so-called famines, man-made famines, where you're not going to be able to buy nothing. And you don't think the elect's going to feel that? But we have the faith that the Lord is going to lead us onto salvation.
Yeah, because when that comes, and it will come, that time comes, they say you can't come to the store no more. Just like they already did with the jump shot or the mask. So they've already done it, so it's not impossible or far-fetched. So when that time comes, they say, oh, no more buying or selling or no more participating in society, period. Your job, whatever, getting benefits, whatever the case may be, then you have to take this chip to do that. Well, it's going to set in. It's the reality going to set in, because we are in the flesh, so it's going to hit you like, oh, shit. What am I going to do? Well, you're supposed to trust in the Lord now.
Because if you're asking yourself that in that day, what do you got to do?
And you through. Yeah. That's why scriptures say knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of that time. If you're asking yourself what to do, you're supposed to praise Yahweh Shai and wait on Him. Cry unto Him in the time of trouble. Yeah. That's all throughout the book of Psalms.
Yeah. Hey, shit. 2 Samuel chapter 22. King David cried out to the Lord, and what happened? The Lord came down, made darkness his pavilion.
Psalms 18.
Discomforted the skies, man. I mean, there's lightning strikes coming down.
He came and delivered him, zap niggas, and took him up into the chariot. Back in the 2nd Ezra 16 and 73, then it says, then shall we know who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire. Hear, O ye my beloved, say the Lord, Yahweh Shai Shai, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. Be ye not afraid of the doubt, for the Most High is your guide.
And the Most High is going to be the one that guides us in these last days, man. And how is He going to guide us? How is He going to lead you onto salvation? By the Spirit that He's giving you through His Son Yahweh Shai, man. Because what is the Spirit of Yahweh Shai? Is the Spirit of prophecy. So the ones that have the Spirit of prophecy are the prophets, because they are the servants. Because the prophet means to prophesy. That's the job title. Like general manager, he has a particular job that he does. Guess what? The prophets, their particular job is to prophesy, which means to say before, which is the Spirit of Yahweh Shai.
Yeah, whether they hear, whether they forbear.
Right. And so the spirit of the prophets is going to be what? The ones that the Lord is dealing with, the men of golden wedge of Ophir, that's going to get you by. They're going to be precious in these days, man. So it would behoove you in these last days, knowing what you're hearing, to get right with the fucking Lord, and to hope that if you're not a prophet, that maybe come across a prophet in that day. But guess what? If you don't, you best believe you better believe or your ass is grass, man. Because that's another thing, man. Just because you don't come across a prophet in that day doesn't mean you're not gonna be delivered. You just gotta believe and trust in the word of the men that you've been watching the videos from.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to personally meet a prophet of the Lord.
Right.
You might be in fucking bumfuck Egypt.
Right.
You know, there ain't no prophets in Egypt that I know of. But
West
faith
Virginia.
cometh by hearing. So you don't need it didn't say faith cometh by seeing or
Right.
faith cometh by meeting somebody. It said faith cometh by hearing. Guess what? The word has been globalized. It has been preached unto the four winds of the earth. And the end shall come. So we're here.
But that's the thing. The Lord has to have given you that seed. Some way, somehow, the Lord had to give you that seed. Whether you came across a prophet on the internet or whether you came across him in person, that seed had to be planted for it to grow. You ain't just gonna just come up with the Lord ain't dealing with one individual, man. You ain't nobody that's gonna make it into the kingdom with like, the Lord dealt with me and I made myself on my way. I understood all these things by myself. No, sir, no way.
Yeah, I woke up one morning, knew I was an Israelite.
Yeah,
I I opened the Bible to Deuteronomy 28, figured it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
There ain't no way, man. The only people that the Lord dealt with that was in the ancient times. The Lord turned his face away from us, man.
Yeah.
Only Yahweh Shai is looking upon us, and he's making the decree for us. He's making the crying out for us,
Yeah,
man.
he's the only one that knew he was an Israelite, or knew the truth from birth.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, ain't none of you squares out there claim you know the truth since you was a kid. Man, you know no damn truth. You the hell out of here.
Jake born
Jay is full of shit, man, talking about they know the truth. My parents were Israelites. Your parents were full of shit.
That's why these guys that be saying that I know I've been to Israelite. You gotta watch out for them, man. You gotta keep an eye out for these guys.
Yeah, okay. When did you start preaching? Oh,
Right.
2018. Damn, you knew you was Israelite
This whole time?
What were you doing?
That means the Lord was.
Because I knew I was Israelite. Guess what? 9 months later, we was out there teaching.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and that's the Lord, ultimately. Every man got their own life, whatever. But, the point is, the elect are going to be risen up, for the glorification of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man. Because we don't, we're not glorifying ourselves. This is not of us. We got, listen, we're just some vessels the Lord's using. The Lord's will we endure and receive salvation.
Which again goes back to the title. The Lord will uplift us. He's the one that's going to uplift us because, hey, you can. The Romans chapter 3 and verse 4 says, "Take every man as a liar and the Most High to be true." Roughly paraphrasing, man. So, hey, you can take everything that we say and things that you hear from other men that are in this truth as a lie. But I guarantee you, when you go to search it up, if the Spirit is dealing with you, you're going to find out the truth, man. So the Most High will reveal it to you.
The Lord has put the Spirit on you. We start digging.
Yep. Which again is going to go back to like the brother was reading in 2nd Ezra chapter 16. The Lord will make his men known in that day. Because that's how a prophet is known. I forget exactly what precept is in the Old Testament. I think it might be Jeremiah. The prophet is known by the thing that
I got you.
by the which the thing followeth, man.
It's in that's Jeremiah 28. 9, I believe. Yeah, it says Jeremiah 28:9 says the prophet which prophesieth of peace, when the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that Yahweh hath truly
There
sent
you
him.
go, man. So the word of peace that we're teaching is the gospel, the New Testament, the good news.
And what's happening? What everything we've been saying is happening.
Exactly.
At this point, it's not even prophesying; it's just pointing it out. We've already prophesied unto you, and of course, there's more things to prophesy that are having full-fledged happened, but they're happening. The chip, the mark of the beast, World War III, the return of the Lord. There's chariot sighting. So all these things are happening. And at this point, of course, we continue to prophesy of famine, all these things that are going to happen. But at this point, we can just point them out to you. Like before, it was people were like, whatever, that'll never happen. Now it's like, oh shit, let me put a pep in my step and keep it moving. Because what you cannot gainsay nor resist the word of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man. And who is he using to speak those words, man? He's using his prophets that he lifted up and woken up, put what is called giving the breath of life. He quickened them, to do this thing. Usher in the return of Yahushai. The herald, we're introducing, presenting the Lord before he returns.
Which is the church, the calling out. That's what church means. Iglesias in the Greek. you know. And that's again, who are the ones out here calling out? Who are the ones heralding in Yahweh Shai, man? Just as John the Baptist was doing, just as Elder Abba Bivens was doing. Who else is out here doing that, man? The ones that learned from up under him. All right, starting from off the apostles, all right, and the elders that learned from them, and the rest of you brothers that are doing this in truth and sincerity, man.
Yeah. And you know, and anybody else out there that's learning, you know, truth and sincerity. You know, we're not telling you everybody's gonna be a prophet. That's not realistic.
Yeah, because
but you got to be a believer, man.
Yeah, because the scripture said, yeah, and the brother quoted it earlier, man, at John chapter 17. Yahweh Shai prayed not only for these, but for them also that believe on him through their words. Through the words of who? His servants, the prophets, man. So those of you that out there that believe, that call upon the names, that pray for deliverance in times of trouble, hey, man. The Lord is hearing your cries, man, and he's going to deliver you if you're doing it in truth and sincerity. Ultimately, if he called you, because many are called but few are chosen. All right, and all of Israel has been called to serve the Heavenly Father. Nobody else, as the Apostle Ramla recently went into, man, ain't no other heathen gonna come into this thing, man. The woman at the well, that was a heathen, and that's why the Lord turned her ass back, man.
Yeah, he
gave her the boot. Yeah. He said, "Get the fuck up out of here, man. This ain't
right.
For you.
That ain't your husband."
Yeah, exactly. This ain't for you. You know? So, hey, man, for those that this is meant to, they're gonna hear this word, as the Lord said himself, "My sheep hear my voice." So if you're the Lord's sheep, you're gonna hear his voice, and guess what? If you hear his voice, you have a good chance of deliverance, man.
If you do something about it.
Yeah, because faith comes by works.
Yeah, and really, like brother said, really the only ones that are going to hear his voice are the sheep. So, right. You know, if you hear the voice, man, you better make a call on election sure.
Yeah, because 2 Ezra chapter 9 tells you that these that shall escape the said perils by their faith and by their works, because it says, and by their works. Okay? So you have to have faith and you have to have works. Just because you're not a prophet doesn't mean you don't have works, man. You have works outside of being a prophet, whether you're a help. Okay, which really that's the next biggest lot outside of a prophet, man, is being a help.
Yeah. Do something. There's plenty to do shit.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I can't think of another position out there that's more important
ministering unto the
outside of the prophets didn't help.
You know, wash some feet. I was getting there. You gotta wash feet.
I mean, that's the only example that have been given.
Exactly. There's plenty of examples that just people that just helped and minister to the Lord and the disciples, man.
Yeah, it's not hard.
Provided them places to stay, fed them, you know, gave them gifts,
right?
You know, and all kind of things, man.
Yeah, and we're not saying this to get tithes because we don't give a fuck.
Man, you can shove your money up your ass if you don't want to give tithes. But
hey, the apostles have said this for years, man. If y'all don't want to tithe, the hell with y'all then.
That's a personal issue.
Yeah, it's a personal issue with you and the Most High. But we still out here doing the work, and we gonna stay hold to that same spirit, man.
It's like Paul said, "Hey, shall I not reap unto you spiritual things? Shall I not reap your carnal
physical things?" Yeah.
Yeah. So hey, if you think that money's gonna save you, go ahead and pocket change it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Keep it all in there.
Be like homeboy and his wife. Put that shit store that shit away.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Aaron, what's it?
Ananias and Sapphira.
Ananias and Sapphira. Yeah.
Yeah. They try. Hey, what did Peter say? The men that buried your husband are outside waiting. Yeah. That's what's gonna happen to your ass, man.
The spirit's gonna be waiting for you, man. Why? Because you wanted to hold dear onto that which was dear unto you, which is the things of this world, man. And the things of this world is gonna follow you, man. Because why? Death is creeping around the corner, man. And yes, if you want to look at it as a green reaper, if you want to look at it as a spirit that's following you, a death spirit, you best believe there's a death spirit following you if you being fucking wicked, man. If you doing this thing in vain, if you following the Lord with some ulterior motive, the Lord will judge your ass, man.
Yeah, you're just wasting your time.
Yeah, at the end of the day,
if you're an Asian, if you're just a demon, mean, you're not gonna gain anything from this. What are you gonna get us on camera eating chicken?
Drinking. These guys eat too much chicken. They add it to the carbon print.
No wonder the fucking chicken shortage.
Yeah.
But I got some real quick. Psalms. What is it? Psalms
121?
Nah. Well, I guess this precept is wrong on here. Okay, here it is. It was just quoting it. But, going back to something we mentioned, it says 2 Corinthians 4 and 13. It says, we having the same spirit of faith, according as it is written, I believed and therefore have I spoken. We also believe and therefore speak, knowing that he which raised up the Lord Yahushua shall raise up, shall raise up us also by Yahushua, and shall present us with you. For all things are for your sakes, that the abundant grace that we read earlier, we're going to have abundance. Abundant grace might, through the thanksgiving of many, rebound to the glory of the Most High. So, hey, you believe, you speak. And that was a quote. He was quoting there, Psalms 116. All right, I believe and therefore I've spoken. So we believe and we also speak. So, hey, speak. Matter of fact, get that in the blue letter there.
Psalms 121.
Second Corinthians 4 and 13, the last word. Let's just see what it says. All right, because you speak, yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm an Israelite. No, that's not what it's talking about. Kanye ain't getting on the chariots, bro. 4 and 13. And then to speak, the last word. All right, Kyrie Irving, he ain't speaking. Just because you say you a Jew, don't make you an Israelite.
Yeah, you see
Israel the Most High, yeah.
Ever since he shut their mouth up, they've been doing good.
Yep.
Speak, you said?
Speak, yeah, the last word.
Speak.
The very last word should be the last word.
Says you.
Hold on. Go to the top again. Go to the verse. Then go to the bottom. Doesn't say. Or just look for the word speak. Should be in there.
Oh yeah, I don't have it up.
What the fuck?
Knowing that he which raised up the Lord Yahushua shall rise up us also by Yahushua and shall present us with you.
Verse 13.
Oh, 13.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'm at 14. It's like verse 13. Okay, speak. Is laleo to utter, or a voice or emit a sound, to speak. Strong definition says a prolonged form of the otherwise obsolete verb to talk, utter words, preach, say, or speak.
So preach it, man. Which is to prophesy.
Right.
Or is this a root word or no?
No.
All right, so that's the point, man. Speaking is to preach, man.
To utter articulate sounds, which is that trumpet.
That's that song,
right?
But not just saying I'm a Jew and then covering it up with what they tell you to say. What I really meant was no.
It says to use words in order to declare one's mind and declares one thought.
And we speak as the oracles of the Most High, man.
Exactly, the Lord's. Because the scriptures say, that his thoughts are higher than our ways. So he's the one that gives us, because all scripture is given by inspiration of the Most High. So the words that we speak, they're of the Most High. So he's given us a higher way than what we people can fathom. But he's only given it to a certain few, an elect, a servant. 144,000 that are out here prophesying and doing the work of the Most High to tell you people what the Lord is thinking.
Yeah. So with that, Lord's will is just edifying to the hopeful elect out there. Just wait and see. The Lord is about to make big moves on the left hand side and the right hand side. But we through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai, through the blood of Yahweh Shai, that we're going to get the victory at the end of the day. So with that, we're going to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the elder apostles, great millstone who were well. Salutation, much love to the Akim out there. Shalom.